Hello, this is servant of Yahawah. Repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I'd like to give double honors to my spiritual fathers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. All right, this is going to be a lesson on we did it to ourselves. We betrayed the Lord Yahawah, and you better get your shit right, man. So here, without further ado, let me read these chapters to you. Listen and drive or do your work, and listen to the prophecy of what's going to happen. Here we go. Jeremiah chapter 9. Oh, that my head were waters and mine eyes a foundation of tears, that I might weep the day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place of wayfaring man, that I might leave my people and go from them, for they be all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous man. That's Israel today. And they bend their tongues like their bow for lies, but they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth. For they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith the Lord. That's all of Israel, you gangbangers and you thugs, you idiots. It says, take ye heed, everyone, of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. And they will deceive everyone his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. Thine habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, saith the Lord. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will melt them and try them. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? Their tongue is as an arrow shot. It speaketh deceit. One speaketh peaceably to his neighbor, and his mouth in his heart he layeth his weight. Shall I not visit them for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? For the mountains will I take up a weeping and wailing, and for the habitation of the wilderness a lamentation, because they are burnt up, so that none can pass through them, neither can man hear the voice of the cattle. Both the fowl of the heavens and the beasts are fled, they are gone. And I will make Jerusalem heaps and a den of dragons, and I will make the cities of Judah desolate without an inhabitant. Who is the wise man that may understand this? And who is he to whom the mouth of the Lord has spoken, that he may declare it? For what the land perisheth and is burned up like a wilderness, that none passeth through. Because after the missiles are shot, the wilderness, everything's gonna be burned. You're not gonna be able to travel, and you're gonna have to have God with you if you're gonna get out of here. And the Lord saith, because they have forsaken my law, which I set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, neither walked therein, but have walked after their imagination of their own heart, and after Balaam, which their fathers taught them. They say that the laws are done away with, and they, do as thou wilt. That's what they're doing today. These evil Israelites, you better get your shit right, because you're about to get judged. We need our warriors to wake up. Quit being feminists. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. Wormwood is something that taints the doctrine. The waters, like these waters, these scriptures, the truth is waters of life. But so it made them, the wormwood is bitter, and they give them waters of death, making them think that the laws are done away with, that they could sin, and so they're drinking waters of gall. Gall is like throw up and stow up. So that's what these damn Christians are. They got waters of gall. It says, I will scatter them also among the heathen, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, and I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider ye, and calling for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for cunning women, that they may come, and let them make haste, and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run down with tears, and our eyelids gush out with waters. For a voice of wailing is heard out of Zion. How are we spoiled? See, they don't think that, we're about to be judged. They think that this land is going to go on forever, and they're going to be shocked. They're going to be like, how are we spoiled? How the hell, why is everything falling apart? But you've been warned. We are greatly confounded because we have forsaken the land, because of our dwellings have cast us out. Ye hear the word of the Lord, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows, and has entered into our places, to cut off the children from without, and the young man from the streets. So that's why our young men are dying in the streets now. You just wait till, this race war pops off and all this shit pops off. You think these young men are dying in the streets now? You wait till the judgment of Yahawah comes hard on these damn demons. Speak, thus saith the Lord, even the carcass of man shall fall as dung upon an open field, and as the handful after the harvestman, and none shall gather them. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised. Egypt and Judah and Edom and the children of Ammon and Moab, and all that are in the utmost corners that dwell in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart. This shit is coming. Get ready. Here, I got another one for you. Another chapter that you need to hear, because you think it's a game. It's not a game. Now listen to this. Jeremiah 51. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. What kind of wind you think that is? It's them nuclear weapons. And I will send into Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archers bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigadine. And spare ye not her young man, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, or the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. That's Iran. And you keep going over there and fucking with Iran. Bring that shit, because they're going to destroy America. For his device against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Yeah, so he's going to use Iran to destroy you, you devils. Go ahead and keep messing with them. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Prepare the ambushes for who? Who do you think? That's why you need to get your shit together. Get right with God, and we need warriors. says, all that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with man as the caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the end by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightning and rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. You know, your crosses and all your damn, you know, your idolatry. It says, they are vanity, the works of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. It says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. What did he say? With us, with Israel, he will use us as his battle axes and weapons of war. We're going to break these nations in pieces. That's why you need to get your shit together and get right with God and be prepared to be a soldier. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces men and women, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces young man and the maid. So he's saying we're going to break in pieces men and women, old and young. He says, I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and to all inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. And what are they doing in our sight? They're murdering our children in the streets. You know, they're killing us. You know, they're using economic racism. You know, they're using all kinds of evils with their justice system against us. And so we are going to put this shit to an end. It says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. Who? Destroying mountain, that's America. That's Esau, Edom. The Lord is against them, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. The mountain is a city, a nation. So America is just going to be a burnt mountain for everything it's done. And they say, and they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for a foundation, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. So when he gets done with this place, it's going to be desolate. There ain't going to be shit here forever. Only the desert animals. It says, set up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Midnai, and Ashkenazes. Appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. So get together. You got to appoint your leaders and get ready. We're going to have to prepare ourselves because we're going to have to fight these evil people eventually. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, with the people of Iran. It says, the captains thereof and all the rulers thereof and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed, because they become scared like women. They become as women. They have burnt her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. They're going to be panicking. These so-called mighty warriors are going to be scared and shaking like little bitches. That's what's going to happen. And that the passages are stopped, and the reeds that they have burned with fire, and the men of war are frightened. They're scared. It says, For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. Where they make the wine and you step on it and squash it, so Babylon, America is going to be a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. And brothers, get ready because the harvest is almost here. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, hath devoured me. He hath crushed me. He hath made me an empty vessel. He hath swallowed me up like a dragon. He hath filled his belly with my delicates and hath cast me out. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry her up and make her springs dry. And Babylon shall become heaps and dwelling places for dragons and astonishment and a hissing without an inhabitant. They shall roar together like lions. They shall yell as lion whelps. In their heat I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake, saith the Lord. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he-goats. How is Sheshach taken? And how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How is Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? That's what they're going to say. Like, what the hell happened to America? It's been fucked up. The Lord burned it up. It's been destroyed. And they're going to watch it. The other nations that don't get bombed, there's going to be people, they're going to be watching this place burn. The sea is come up to Babylon. The sea is the multitudes of people. She is covered with the multitude of waters thereof. Her cities are a desolation, a dry land and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither doeth any son of man pass thereby. And I will punish Bel and Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that he had swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. So all these nations are going to quit kissing America's ass. My people, go ye out of the midst of her. Deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. Because there ain't going to be very many of us left, The ones that do make it, the Lord is going to be with you to get the hell out of here. You should be thinking Jerusalem. It says, at least your heart faint and you fear for your rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. So we've already had the rumors year after year. This violence is about to happen. Get ready. These Edomites, they're buying guns and ammunition. They're getting ready to kill you, Jakes. And it's going to be okay. You get right with the Lord, and then some of us, we're going to have to fight. That's what we do. You're going to have to fight for your life and fight for the Lord. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon. For the spoilers shall come unto her from the north, saith the Lord. And that's Russia. Russia is going to be gathering them. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Go away, don't be still. Remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. So you need to be thinking how to get back to Jerusalem after all this happens. You're not going to be able to stay here and rebuild, and you're going to die. You need to get ready to get back to Jerusalem after all this pops off. We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Shame hath covered our faces. For strangers are come into the sanctuary of the Lord's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all the land that the wounded shall groan. Though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith the Lord. A sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, a great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans, because the Lord hath spoiled Babylon and destroyed her out of her a great voice. When her waves do roar like great waters, a noise of their voice is uttered, because a spoiler is come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken. Every one of their bows are broken. For the Lord God of recompenses shall surely requite. And I will make drunk her princes and her wise men, her captains and her rulers and her mighty men. And they shall sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake, saith the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary. The word which Jeremiah the prophet commanded Seraiah, the son of Neriah, the son of Messiah, when he went to Shidkiah, the king of Judah, into the Babylon in the 4th year of his reign. And this Seraiah was a quiet prince. So Jeremiah wrote in the book all the evil that should come upon Babylon, even all these words that are written against Babylon. So a lot of that is prophesied for the end times. And some of that was prophesied for when Babylon had failed. So get ready. And this is going to happen. You know, they're going to invade America too. They're not just, they're going to bomb the shit out of it, and then they're going to invade. So, get right with God. We need soldiers. Get ready. It's okay to fight for your life and fight for your family and fight the evil people, because it says in the last days that we're going to be against all the iniquity. We're going to make it righteous. We're not going to allow iniquity to be around us. Well, that's it. That's all I got. The water for listening. Okay, that's it.